Hello, I'm Paul Pluta. Welcome to the Paul Pluta channel. Today I'm doing paid reviews. Paid reviews! Paid reviews. Remember, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and look in the description. Like, subscribe, tell your dickhead friends about my channel. Remember, look in the description for 10 ways you can keep me full-time on YouTube. Now, this is a paid review for Chris. Need help? I have a Rolex Daytona Black Steel, Panerai White Face Thin, and a Chopard Millet Migler. Don't buy any more Chopards! That's a bad resale. And looking to add an AP Royal Oak to the collection. Debating between a 15400 blue face and a 15202. Any thoughts, or should I go with black dial? Okay. Thank you so much for asking the guru. Firstly, I must congratulate you, Chris. You've got a beautiful Rolex Steel Daytona. That is a cool watch. You are a lucky son of a bitch to have that. Very lucky indeed. The Panerai, yes, I quite like Panerai. I'm starting to warm to it. I don't add any more. One is enough. One Panerai is more than enough. The Chopard Millet Migler, ooh, Chopard can be mean. Very bad resale, but they're kind of a cool watch, I must admit. Chopard is a bit of a cool watch. Atrocious resale values, unsellable virtually, which I kind of like Chopard, but yeah, don't buy any more of those, that's for sure. Now, you're looking to add an AP Royal Oak, the classic Royal Oak. And okay, let's have a talk about this. Now, you're talking about dial colors. You're saying, now let's just explain this to the normal lay folk that are there. The AUDEMARS PIGUET Royal Oak, the current classic model is the 15400 steel. They've got a very special model, which is the 15202, which is a tribute. It's kind of like the original version of the jumbo that came out in 1972. It's 39 mil across, 39 mils across, whereas the 15400 I think is 41 mils. So it's gotten bigger. The 15200 is kind of what you'd say is, it's like the original jumbo that came out. So it sort of pays tribute. It uses the in-house movement, the ultra-thin movement. It is very, very, it takes styling cues and special cues from the original. It does not have a screw-in crown. No, that's right. The 15400 does have a screw-in crown, which means better waterproofing. So the 15202 doesn't have that. And one thing about the 15202 is it doesn't have a second hand. So it's minute and hour and date only. Minute and hour hands. So no second hand there. Whereas the 15400 does have the second hand. So what are my thoughts on it? Well, I gotta tell you, personally, I love the classic Royal Oak. I think it's beautiful. What would I go for? What would I seriously go for using my own money? I mean, if someone said to me, pick one, Archie, if I had a wealthy fan who took me into AP and said, you can pick one of the steel APs, well, of course I would go for the 15202. However, if I was using my own money, I would be going for the 15400. I would go for the 15400 because it's an amazing watch. It's an AP. It's a great watch. I like the screw-in crown, and I like the second hand. You know, the second hand, minutes, hour, second hand. I like that. And it is considerable saving to the 15202, where you're paying a huge premium. And I think they're only available at the boutique now. So I'd go 15400. Now, as far as the real sweet spot, they've got a model called the 15300. It's also 39 mils. It's like a cross between the two because it's got a screw-in crown and it's got a second hand there. That's what I reckon. Now, the only problem is you can only buy the 15300 on the used market. So if it was me, I reckon the sweet spot would be the 15300. Now, as far as the dial colors go, look, it really doesn't matter. But you can get a white dial, blue dial, black dial. Look, that classic bluey grey colored dial, that is probably the best dial color to go for. I think, mind you, I've seen the black dial and it's cool too. I don't think there's a bad choice, but I'd probably go blue dial. That's what I personally would do. I would go 15300 if it's my own money. Now, I got to tell you, I really do hope you're buying used, because AP is a tricky brand. You know, anything that's not a Royal Oak in AP is a dog. They are very difficult to sell. Honestly, I would be buying used. AP is a very, very... you got to be a bit careful. I mean, people buy APs, and it's like, let me put it this way. It's like buying a Volvo. I got a European car. You were scared of service costs. You were scared of running costs. It's not too bad in the Volvo. It's a nice car, well made, bit of European charm to it. That was a good decision. Now, when you buy a Maserati, far out! It ain't no Volvo as far as reliability. Yes, it's more exclusive. Yes, it's got cachet. Yes, it's cooler. But hey, these are expensive. Very expensive. And that's about AP too. Just because you've gone into the luxury watch phase, I don't think you understand expensive service costs until you have owned an AP. They are horrendously expensive. APs also, let me just give you the drum here. The metal tends to be very soft. I've got a good friend of mine who's a corporate lawyer, and he told me when he puts his hand in his pocket, it can scratch the steel. It's very, very soft for, I don't know why, but it just is. The other annoying thing about AP is that horrendously sensitive. And the watches are more delicate than Patek. So they're finely engineered. They are absolutely beautiful. They are beautiful. They are really well done. But man, they are expensive. Believe you me, I had a 14790 ST, which is the 36mm steel automatic Royal Oak. Sent it in for repair. It was $2,500 US. Geez, I'd hate to send a chronograph or a complication in. Now, if you want the AP design, because you got to look at who designed the Royal Oak. It was JEWELLERY. There are quite a few watches which he did design. The IWC Ingenua, that is also one of his designs. And this one here, this is my Ingenua, because I love Jaeger-LeCoultre design. I got this one here, second hand. You can pick these up for high threes, low fours. That's for a Jaeger-LeCoultre design IWC. This is model 3227-01. This model here also has the IWC in-house movement. And it's just, this model was designed by IWC to beat AP. That's how they designed it. It's got the guilloche dial. It's really, really sexy piece. Now, this can be had for a fraction of an AP. Personally, I was so disappointed with my AP buying experience, I would never ever buy another AP again. Yes, the Royal Oak, you could possibly make an exception. If a millionaire fan gave me one, I would accept it and I'd love it to death. Yes, I would. But let me just tell you, AP, it's like owning a Maserati. It's like owning a Maserati. It's painful. Yes, it's cool and chic, but it ain't a pleasant experience for your wallet. So just be aware of that. It ain't low cost like a Daytona. No, 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 no. So just be aware of that. But the sweet spot, the 15300, that's where I'd be going. I'd be buying used because I don't like to get ripped off by buying new. I want bang per buck. I'm Paul Pluta, the watch expert, doing paid reviews. Paid reviews because I give good advice that is worth paying for. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. See you later. Until next time.